So, Brianna, you posted a post or a picture earlier on your business page, which, by the way, I absolutely thought was a beautiful picture, and it definitely caught my it definitely caught my attention. I'm going to read the post, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions just so you can elaborate about it.
Okay.
Your post says, "I started this business to make money. As time went on, it turned into being about my community. Recently, I have developed a by any means necessary mindset." You also stated that you realized because your why had changed. You realized that this is your livelihood. This is how you create the life you want for your children. And then you posed a question at the end and you asked, "What's your why?" So I just, for one, I really love that post. It spoke volumes to me. Um, it's to me, it's very deep. But I just want to ask you a few questions about it since you did post it.
Okay.
Why did you initially start your business?
Initially, it was because I lost my job, and my husband was the only person working at the time, so I wanted to sustain or substitute that income. So I needed I seen a post, I seen a company talking about starting a need-based business, which is taxes, and I thought it would be a good idea. So I was like, let's do it. I talked to my husband about it, and he's like, oh, okay, cool, that sounds good, let's do it. So we got into it.
But it
We
was
started the
initially
business.
it started with just wanting to make money to
Yeah, it just
substitute.
was just about to substitute the income that I lost from not working. I didn't want to go back to work. I was enjoying being off. I did not want to go back to a 9 to 5 job. I wanted to be in control of my life,
Control of your life. How?
controlled by how my day is ran. I wanted to be able to spend time with my kids and my family. I wanted to be home. I like not having to be confined to a desk all day.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. In turn, it ended up being a business
Right,
the birth of a business
right,
by you not wanting to have that 9 to 5, be told when to do something, when not to do something.
right.
You want to make those decisions.
Yeah.
How did the community come into play? You recently said, like, as time went on, it turned into being about your community. So from
Yeah.
here, it's going from just wanting to make money to, hold on one second, like, I really want to bring my community into it. So how did that transpire?
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. So what happened was I always wanted to start a business. Wasn't sure what business to start. And I before years ago I would have a prayer like, "Hey God, praying to God, show me what my purpose is in life. Show me how I can sustain myself as a business owner. But whatever it is that you want me to do, please make sure." I wanted to no, not please make sure, but I wanted it to be about helping people. I wanted it to be about bettering the community or bettering somebody. I wanted to make an impact. So when I was doing tax school and I was marketing the business, and I was in people's inboxes that I went to school with, and people that were friends on my Facebook and Instagram page, I was asking them, do they want to get their taxes done and things like that. A lot of them hadn't filed taxes in years,
Mm.
and we're all the same age. A lot of them hadn't filed taxes, or they always said they owe, and they were just going to wait for the IRS to catch up to them. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the
So
route you want to go. So I was like, this is my purpose, or this is my way of bettering my community, or this is my way of making a change.
so you were running into a lot of people who were not in your community that were not taking Uncle Sam taxes seriously
Right.
for whatever reason it may have been.
Yeah, and I really believe that has to do with it not being taught, but that's another conversation.
Well, that's makes sense because that's what it initially started with. Just, hey, I want to make money my own way
Right.
for myself. Versus now, man, this gotten a little bit deeper because there's a lot of my community is hurting for financial knowledge and reference to just taxes in general. We haven't even got to the
Right.
bigger scope of things.
Right.
Okay. The post also mentions like the mentality that you have to come into, and
Mm-hmm.
that mentality is a by any means necessary mentality.
Right.
What do you mean by that?
My drive. Your by any means necessary mentality is your drive. It is the drive to keep going. It is understanding that the success of your business falls directly on you and no one else. It is like when I'm tired and I still have a deadline that I need to meet, I still have to stay up to meet that deadline. When I am not wanting to do anybody's taxes, I'm just not in the mood, I still have to do it because guess what? My income is reliant on me getting the work done. By any means necessary means I'm continuously working to get my company to where I want it to be. Tired, no excuse. Out of ideas, no excuse. Bored, no excuse. This is a business I started. If I want it to be successful, by any means necessary, I'm going to get the job done. From creating content when I don't feel like it, to doing a tax return when I don't feel like it, whatever the case may be. Not answering my phone when I don't feel like it. By any means necessary, until I reach the level that I want to be at, I'm getting the job done.
Do you think, and the last part of your post says, you know, that's the livelihood you want to create a livelihood. There's a certain livelihood you're trying to create.
Yeah.
And you're trying to create a certain life for your children and your family.
Right.
Does that contribute to the by any means necessary mentality?
Absolutely. Because like I said, the success of this business, at some point this business is going to the income from this business is going to support the lifestyle that I'm wanting to give my children. It's going to support the big house. It's going to support the homeschooling. It's going to support the vacations and seeing the world and the languages and the sports and activities. This business will support that, and it can only get to that point by any means necessary. I get it done. That's just it. There's no excuse.
Absolutely. Once again, Brianna, thank you so much for explaining that. That the post means a lot. It definitely speaks volumes into just launching your business and where you were initially, where your mindset was initially to where it is now.
Yeah.
So I think that's huge. Where can we follow you?
Instagram is legacy_financial_guru. And then Facebook is Legacy Financial Guru. You can search LFG Tax. I also have a YouTube page, my husband and I. It is Junebugs, and that's JUNEBUGZZ.
Do you have any other advice?
My advice is to anybody, regardless of whether you work a 9 to 5 or you own your own company, figure out what your why is. What drives you to get the job done at the end of the day? So figure out what your why is and let that motivate you. Let that drive your by any means necessary mindset.
Okay.
That's all. Thank you.